Do you always wonder what to do when it comes to shadow sparring? Do you just think like you're just here and you don't actually know what you're punching, what you're meant to do, and you're just waiting for the time to sort of finish so then you can get on with actually smashing the pads or hitting the bags? Well, don't worry, I'm going to tell you exactly what you should be doing when you're shadow sparring, so then next time you look like a complete professional and you know exactly what you're doing. Let me show you. When you're shadow sparring, it's very important to make sure that you're constantly keeping a good rhythm with your feet. Okay, what you don't want to be doing is just going here, stood still, punching, maybe looking around, getting bored. All right, you're kicking here. All right, what you need to do is make it realistic. Okay, when you're sparring, when you're fighting, you never just stood still. You're always moving your feet. And even if you don't really know how to move your feet, you're always still doing it. You'll never spar just like this or hit pads just like this. You're always moving forward, even if you don't necessarily know what you're doing. So do the same thing when you're shadow sparring. Keep that good base, keep that stance, transition your weight forward and back, and now you can start shadow sparring from here. Okay, exactly like how you would on the pads, you know? As your pad holder moves back and they're moving away from you, you go here, boom, and you chase them down as you throw in your shots. Another thing is you want to visualize a fight, visualize a scenario. Okay, so don't be scared to add in your blocks, add in your parries like this or your catches, pretend to catch a kick, throw it to the side, kick them back. Okay, that's exactly what would happen in sparring, in a fight. Okay, so when you're shadow sparring, it's the exact same thing. Yeah, you need to be imagining this and you need to be putting yourself in scenarios and dealing with them as you're doing it. Already, when you start to think about it more, it becomes a lot more interesting. It becomes a lot more like an actual task rather than just standing there and doing shots that you don't even know what you're doing for. So again, I'll be here, I'll be jabbing, maybe I'll jab him again. And now he's moving back, so boom, I follow forward with the 1-2. Okay, he attacked me back, so move out of the way. I step to the side, I'll kick him back here. Then he'll kick me, so I'll catch, throw the leg to the side, kick him back here. Yeah, I'm creating this scenario in my head. Same thing, I'll teep, they'll teep me back, boom, I'll catch the leg, maybe I'll pretend to sweep, boom, throw them to the side, kick that leg back here, start attacking them, okay, they start coming forward, maybe I'll turn that into a knee, maybe I'll try clinch and turn, knee again, move him to the side, punch him back, okay? And you need to start just thinking of these scenarios, and then that's how you start attacking, yeah? And don't be scared, like checking here, leaning back out of the way, attacking back, okay? All these scenarios are real life things that will happen in a real life sparring situation or a real life fight. So why not put it in your shadow sparring? So if you're struggling to grasp this concept, what you can do is you can start limiting yourself of what you do in that round. So maybe I do my first round just boxing. So I go here and I just think of boxing stuff. So I'm punching, boom. Maybe I have to slip a punch and then punch back. Maybe I have to roll under a hook and then a hook and pivot off and I attack him back. I block some punches, I roll under, counter 1-2. Then maybe the next round, I'll just do kicking. So again, I'm here, I'm checking because he's kicked me back. I push him out of the way. I slide him to my teep, but I need to dummy that. Boom, kick him back here. Maybe he comes into clinch, a knee, I turn, a knee him back, push him away, kick him here. Maybe I do a certain scenario like, okay, only things up close. So I imagine someone's really close to me, so I'm more throwing my body hooks, my head hooks, more uppercuts, hooks here. Maybe I'm kneeing, maybe I'm pushing him away, then I go in for my elbows, yeah? I'm imagining he's a bit too close. Or do the opposite and imagine they're really far away. So I go here and I use my long jab, long teep, jab here, kick there, yeah? This is exactly how you start building your shadow sparring round. So the common theme with shadow sparring is you need to keep your head in it. I'll say this a lot to my students all the time, but what you need to make sure you do is you need to make sure you're imagining that scenario, imagining your sparring, imagining your hitting pads, imagining what you're going to be doing. Okay, and what happens is then your shadow sparring round becomes really interesting and you can start moving around, and what actually may occur is when you start sparring, these scenarios will happen, and if you're doing it in shadow sparring, well, now you're used to it and you've seen a reaction or a counter before something's even happened, and that's how you get really smart at Muay Thai. Okay, so don't neglect your footwork, don't neglect your shadow sparring, and make sure you get into it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.